Be realistic. Bruce Lee's early death is what keeps him popular to this day. If he were alive, he would have long been ignored as been, because all people have seen is his glorious moments. Bruce Lee's success was largely accidental and of his time, but his success was not proportional to his strength. His fame far outweighs his overall ability, whether in acting or combat skills, which are both greatly exaggerated. You could say that it was the era that made Bruce Lee, not Bruce Lee who made the era. Bruce Lee's success was accidental because he brought his 6 years of experience in Hollywood to Hong Kong and pioneered martial arts films, but that's all. The path Bruce Lee took afterwards was the same as Lam Ching-ying, who became famous through zombie movies. Their range of acting was very narrow, and as an actor, Bruce Lee's foundation was very poor. He only integrated the free fighting he encountered in the United States into the movies, making the traditional martial arts in the opera-style films more coherent and seemingly more like real fighting, but it was still based on the opera's routine foundation. The movements were stiff, and the emotional scenes were poor. The key was that Bruce Lee couldn't perform difficult actions. As a martial arts actor, his foundation was very poor. However, he brought an unprecedented experience to the audience at that time, so he was incredibly successful in Hong Kong for 2 years. Chinese martial arts novel addicts. The martial arts novels and the martial arts fraudsters have fabricated a lie that the founder of a sect is invincible, and the disciples are not as good as the previous generation. These addicts indulge in daydreaming. Bruce Lee was just the pioneer of martial arts films, but the ones who truly brought it to its peak were Jackie Chan and Jet Li. If Bruce Lee were really in the same era as these two, he would only be overshadowed. Jackie Chan specializes in extremely difficult stunts, focusing on life-threatening acting. The difficulty of Jackie Chan's classic scenes is 100 or 1,000 times more difficult than Bruce Lee's signature moves. Even if Bruce Lee himself watched it, he could only feel ashamed. To this day, there is still no successor to Jackie Chan's range of acting. And in terms of the most aesthetically pleasing and graceful action performance, Jet Li is the one to be recommended. Jet Li's action performance, even if Bruce Lee watched it, could only be out of reach. Jet Li's movements, whether in terms of beauty, coherence, and difficulty, are all far beyond what Bruce Lee could reach. The key is that Jet Li can also skillfully use various weapons, and he is proficient in both civil and martial arts, modern and ancient costumes. If Bruce Lee's acting was really invincible, then today's martial arts films would still be following Bruce Lee's style, but obviously people after the 90s have already found it hard to accept Bruce Lee's style. Because they are used to watching Jackie Chan and Jet Li's movies, Bruce Lee's movies provide a much poorer sensory experience. Bruce Lee was also very popular at the time. After watching Bruce Lee's movies, comparing them to Shaw Brothers films, the sensory stimulation was unprecedented. The reason why Bruce Lee has become polarized today is entirely because of the Chinese traditional culture's drags, which like to mythologize certain individuals for hypocritical propaganda. To mythologize a person, one must choose someone who is far away, so they are all mythologizing the dead, because mythologizing a living person could lead to the person's own collapse of character at any time.